Hi, and welcome to Tools for an Anxious Entrepreneur. Um, this is the first time trying of this. We'll see what it does. But I want to offer you some tools for entrepreneurship. If you, like me, find yourself in a position where, because of the state of our modern world and whatever iteration that is, you are realizing that you probably are going to have to figure out how to make a living like in an alternative way, maybe. Like you need to figure out a way to survive that isn't how we were always taught to survive, which is like get a job for a company that you'll work for the rest of your life, save for retirement, retire, and you're taken care of. That's a myth. That's actually the unfortunate thing is that was just this wild story that's only existed for the very recent past. And it turns out that it's not a durable story. So I think that there are a lot of people who are finding themselves in the position of considering or actually acting on how to build something on their own. I am in that boat. As context, I burned out of my career 18 months ago, and I'm basically pursuing entrepreneurship from the not the worst path, but not like a path that feels pretty uphill to me. And I'm very anxious about that. The biggest reason it's uphill to me is that how I was enculturated, how I was raised, and who I thought myself to be did not seem to coincide with how entrepreneurship is viewed in terms of the kind of characteristics you need to do it. And I think this is a lot because of how we think about the idea of entrepreneurship, which if that is interesting to you, I can tell you about that, but I think it's tangential to my core point now. So I've been going about building a business, and part of the reason has been really unideal for me is burnout made me lose a lot of confidence in my ability to get stuff done. Yeah, I don't want to swear because I don't know if I'll get filtered if I do that. But I want to swear actually because it would sound more the way I want to express it, but you know what I mean. Okay, I can slow down a little bit. I'm just excited. um, so where was I? Okay. So I'm building from a position where my confidence in myself isn't that great, and where I'm really worried about the future because I'm not doing this while I still have a stable career. Like I haven't worked in 18 months, so there's a lot of pressure on it, and I don't feel like I have the skill set that's needed, and I just like I keep talking down to myself about my ability to build a business because I'm really scared, and because it also it's not the way I was raised. I was raised that I followed a plan and then things worked out. Entrepreneurship is not about following a plan. So, in any case, this is hard for me, but I have started to figure out tools that I think may have helped me in this process, and I think may have help other people. The ironic thing is, I feel like I've been hesitant to share them because I don't know if they're gonna help me make it because I haven't made it yet. I haven't actually really found a way yet, but I'm starting to see that maybe what I can do is actually useful to other people. I've had a couple of experiences. So I'm going to start sharing them. That was a lot of a preamble, but maybe it's interesting or not. Um, I think what is the first advice for anxious entrepreneurs? Maybe just be anxious, honestly. Like if you go back and watch the other videos I've done, I was extremely anxious and shut down in those. So maybe that's the first one is your anxiety. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Um, I think the thing that I wanted to say is entrepreneurship is in your blood. And we have this idea of entrepreneurship that's in the capitalist system that's about making it really big and being Elon Musk or whatever. But what entrepreneurship is creative, I think at its core, and what's beautiful about it, and what I think is something that has existed throughout all of human history is this creative impulse on working within the constraints and limitations on resources that the natural world provides. And throughout all of human history up until very recently, there wasn't even really, unless you were, I don't know, a pharaoh or something, there wasn't, well, then you'd probably get murdered by someone. But my point being, there wasn't a lot of kind of ability to sell the narrative that if you did something right, you'd be taken care of for life. So this has been the stance that humans have had to make to orient to the world for most of human history. So it's actually like, it's going to feel really terrifying. Like, it's really scary because you've been so programmed to think about the world a certain way from like capitalist ideology that it's really scary to move from that position and it's like way of like shaping how you orient towards the world into a realization that like you actually can just exist in the present moment. Like, this is very like ontological, like spiritual, like, but you can actually just exist in the present moment, and it will take time to like essentially burn off the old programming, and that will be uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie. But like, you will start, if you start doing it, you will start to see like the way that it like, you don't know where you're going and you don't know if you're going to get there, but you're actually enjoying the ride. And like, it actually can be fun even though there's no guarantee and even though there is risk. Okay. I have a lot more to say on this. I like a question, so if you have a question, otherwise my mind kind of like is too nonlinear and it goes off topic, so it helps me to have something that somebody like, so if you have a question, please ask it. I would warmly welcome that. Thank you.